coalition to bring the troops home now. My name is Richie Shavat. I'm a member of Blue Wave, New Jersey, and today I'm speaking for the coalition. We are here today to read the names of every U.S. serviceman and woman who has died in Iraq since March 2003. We are also here to read just some of the uncounted tens of thousands of Iraqis' names who have also been killed during that same period. We read these names today to remember the names, the people the names represent. We read these names so we will not forget that each name is a brother or daughter or husband or a niece, a loved one taken from their families in a war that was never necessary, that was always wrong, that should never have been fought. We read these names today to remind ourselves that this list is still growing, that every day there are more sons and daughters and mothers and fathers sacrificed in a pointless bloodbath unleashed by our own government. And knowing this, we read these names because we will not be silent. We will not change the subject. We will not go about our business. We read these names to join our voices with the millions of other Americans who are saying, end this war, end the occupation, bring the troops home now. We read these names to say, loud and clear, not one more life. The Bush administration has failed in Iraq. But when we say they have failed, we do not mean they failed to bring democracy to Iraq. You cannot fail at something you never try. They never intended to bring democracy to Iraq. That is not their goal now. No, what has failed is a lunatic scheme to use U.S. troops to control the oil fields of the Middle East. Iraq today lies shattered in pieces, a bleeding country in the middle of a civil war. And our troops stay there for one reason, and one reason only. And that is because Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld and the war supporters in Congress cannot and will not admit their failure. They are blinded by arrogance and self-delusion, and they cannot recognize the disaster that they themselves have created. And so, the agony of the Iraqi people must continue, and they ask more Americans to die, not to spread the march of freedom, not to protect us or our country, but to protect the pipe dreams of a handful of politicians in Washington. Bush and Cheney and Rumsfeld have failed. They have failed in another way. They have failed in their responsibility to the American people. They failed when they lied to take us to war, and they failed today to heed the will of the majority who want the war to end. But they have failed no one so profoundly as the men and women and children whose names we read today. They failed our troops when they sent them into battle without the proper equipment, without a plan for the peace, and without a plan to bring them home. And they failed the people of Iraq when they launched an unprovoked invasion of their country and occupied their country without regard to their welfare or well-being, and allowed it to descend into chaos and violence and civil war. Bush, Cheney, their political allies have failed. But the men and women, the American servicemen and women whose names we read today, did not fail. They answered the call of their leaders and did what they believed to be their duty to us in our country. Today, we honor their sacrifice. And at the same time, we demand that those who ask for that sacrifice be held accountable. And we will hold them accountable for every lie, for every deception, for every unnecessary death, and for every family, Iraqi and American, who have been torn apart by this war. We honor the dead, and at the same time, we know we must fight for the living. The troops have done their duty, Now we must do ours and bring them home. To those who say we are unpatriotic, we say, if you want to be a free citizen of a free nation, it is not just your right, it is your responsibility to speak out, especially in times of crisis, especially when lives are at stake, and especially when those in power do everything they can to silence you and intimidate you and shout you down. That is when it really counts. This is when it really counts. And so we are going to speak out today and tomorrow in Summit and in towns across the state. And we will join our voices with the millions of other Americans, the majority, who want to end the war. And we will go to the polls on November 7th, and we will vote against any candidate who still supports Bush's war. And we will continue to organize, and we will protest, and we will end the war, and we will bring the troops home, and we will have said loud and clear, not one more life. Thank you. Thank you. I'd like to introduce now John Fenton, a member of Military Families Speak Out, and John will tell you his story. Thank you.
Thank you, Richie. Okay, thank you. This is my son, Sergeant Matthew Fenton, who suffered a severe head injury on April 26th, just outside of Fallujah in Iraq. He died 9 days later at the Bethesda Medical Center in Maryland. During those 9 days, I not only witnessed the devastation of my son, but I saw numerous other young and brave and patriotic Marines with their brains, parts of their brains and parts of their head missing, and just terrible devastation. I'd never seen this anywhere in any press report or any news report. I was in shock. I was shocked. I couldn't believe it. My son struggled for 9 days, and finally they had to pull the plug on him. And even then he wouldn't go easily. I've been thinking ever since that day, why did he die and who's responsible? And the only answers that make sense is that this administration does not care about the loss of human life. And they are responsible. George Bush is responsible. Dick Cheney is responsible, and Rumsfeld is responsible for my son's death. And I just heard last week, I heard just about all of them say they would do it all over again. Even though there were no weapons of mass destruction, and there was no connection to 9/11, they would do it all over again. For what? My parents brought me to this country 52 years ago, today, from Ireland, for a better life. They deserve better. My son deserved better. And I put all the blame at George Bush's feet.
Thank you. We're going to begin the reading of the names in a minute. I just want to talk about how we're going to proceed. First of all, if you want to read and you haven't volunteered to read, There's a table back there, and you can sign up, and you'll be given a time to report to the stage and get your list and read. We know this is going to take a long time. We know that everyone can't stay. We know you may have to get up, leave, come back. You may have to answer a cell phone. We're asking that when you're in this area in front of the stage to respect what we're doing and to participate by listening quietly. Do we know who's reading first? Yeah. Oh, John's going to read. Okay. That's all. Before we start, though, we'd like to ask everyone to join in a minute of silence. During this minute, you can pray, meditate, reflect, think about what we're doing here, whatever your conscience dictates. But please join us now in a minute of silence.
Sergeant Matthew John Fenton.
I'm Anna Berlinroot with Military Families Speak Out. My son is currently in Fallujah, Iraq. He is on his third deployment as a Marine reservist. Private First Class Vincent M. Frazzetto. Airman First Class Carl Jerome Ware, Jr. Private First Class Ryan D. Christensen. Staff Sergeant Edward Carolaz. First Lieutenant Dennis W. Zielinski. Staff Sergeant Stephen J. Sutherland. Captain James M. Gerbitz. Sergeant Michael Egan. Staff Sergeant Anthony L. Goodwin. Major John C. Spar. Private First Class Mensu Choi. Sergeant Stephen R. Sherman, age 27. Lance Corporal Harry R. Swain IV, 21. Corporal Sean P. Kelly, 23. Specialist Elaine L. Kamal-Vathan, 21. Lance Corporal Brian P. Perello, 19. Specialist David P. Malenbrock, 20. Private First Class Stephen C. Benish, 20. Corporal Mark T. Ryan, 25. Mud Kalem, age 57. Sargun Nanun Murado, age unknown. Ahan Mustafa Kamal, age unknown. Nazan Ahmed, 16. Nazir Ali Hussein Marzeh, 21.
My name is Michelle Munsat. I'm a member of Military Families Speak Out. Our daughter and son-in-law were in the Army. Our son-in-law served a year in Iraq, and both our children are subject to recall during the next year under the Individual Ready Reserve program. Specialist Brian L. Freeman, age 31. Specialist Yo M. Aneros, age 20. Captain Michael Yuri Tarlovsky, age 30. Specialist Anthony J. Dixon, age 20. Lance Corporal Vincent M. Sullivan, age 23. Sergeant Alan David Sherman, age 36. Sergeant Umberto F. Timoteo, age 25. Specialist Ryan E. Doltz, age 26. Specialist Christopher M. Duffy, age 26. Specialist Sergeant Frank T. Carville, age 51. Specialist Philip I. Spakowski, age 25. Second Lieutenant John Thomas J.T. Robluski, age 25. Specialist Adam D. Froelich, age 21. Private First Class Bruce Miller, Jr., age 23. Second Lieutenant Seth J. Dvorin, age 24. Specialist Mark S. Seiden, age 26. Specialist Ryan T. Baker, age 24. Specialist Marlon P. Jackson, age 25. Specialist Simeon Hunt, age 23. Sergeant First Class Vladimir Philippe, age 32. And Iraqi citizens Ibrahim Odai, age unknown. Sabah Odai and his cousin Mohammed, ages unknown. Mohammed Alwani, age 18. Ali Khalil, age unknown. Tibhal Abdul Ramin, age 10.
Thank you. Hi. I'm a member of Military Families Speak Out and Veterans for Peace. My name is Nancy Nygaard. I'm the proud mother of Joseph Nygaard, serving with the 10th Mountain Division in Afghanistan. Staff Sergeant William Brooks, 30. I also want to apologize beforehand for any names that I mispronounce. Staff Sergeant Tommy S. Little, 47. Sergeant Kenya A. Parker, 26. Warrant Officer Charles G. Wells, Jr., 32. Lance Corporal Bradley M. Faircloth, 20. Private Justin R. Yeomans, 20. Staff Sergeant Robert C. Thornton, Jr., 35. Captain Robert C. Sheets, Jr., 31. Specialist Stephen D. Dusty Hiller, 25. Specialist Christopher M. Taylor, 25. Chief Warrant Officer Brian D. Hazelgrove, 29. Chief Warrant Officer Philip A. Johnson, Jr., 31. Specialist Charles G. Haight, 23. Sergeant Aubrey D. Bell, 33. Private First Class Paul J. Booch, 19. Technical Sergeant Bruce E. Brown, 32. Sergeant First Class Christopher Willoughby, 29. Sergeant Jason D. Jordan, 24. Sergeant Timothy M. Conaway, 22. Sufyan al-Batanea, Abdullah al-Abneh, Ahmad al-Enzi, Amran al-Sirhain, and Abdullah Umir Abdullah.
My name's Walt Nygaard. I'm a Marine Corps veteran of the Vietnam War, member of Military Families Speak Out and Veterans for Peace. Husband of Nancy, father of Joe Nygaard, 10th Mountain Division, Afghanistan. Specialist Kyle A. Griffin, 20. Specialist Narson Bertle Sullivan, 21. Specialist Gil Mercado, 25. Staff Sergeant Terry Wayne Hemingway, 39. Corporal Michael Edward Curtin, 23. Lieutenant Colonel Marshall A. Gutierrez, 41. Lance Corporal Shane P. Harris, 23. Specialist Jose Zamora, 24. Sergeant Leroy Segura, Jr., 23. Private First Class Ricky Salas, Jr., 22. Specialist Jesse M. Zamora, 22. Specialist Clifton T. Yazzie, 23. Private First Class Mario A. Reyes, 19. Lance Corporal Chad R. Hildebrandt, 22. Sergeant Marshall A. Westbrook, 43. Corporal Lyle J. Cambridge, 23. Lance Corporal Jonathan Walter Grant, 23. Staff Sergeant Joseph E. Rodriguez, 25. Specialist Jeremy E. Christensen, 27. Hassan Hadi Hamib, Abdul Salim Kwanbar, Ali Karim Abbas, and the mother of Abdul Habib Ibrahim.
I'm Paula Rogovan, Military Families Speak Out, proud mother of Eric, who was a first lieutenant in the Marines, who is going to be deployed later in this year. Sergeant Marquis Quick, 28. Sergeant Carlos Purnell, 25. Private First Class Ryan Winslow, age 47. Sergeant Jamie Weeks, 47. Staff Sergeant Dwayne Peter Lewis, 26. Staff Sergeant Christopher Shornack, 28. Corporal Matthew D. Conley, 21. First Lieutenant Joseph D. Demers, 36. Specialist First Class Stephen White, 39. Corporal Adam R. Fales, 21. Staff Sergeant Travis L. Nelson, 41. Lance Corporal Carl Rains II, 20. Sergeant Christopher Taylor, 22. Staff Sergeant Jeffrey Farrow, 28. Corporal Christopher Winchester, 23. Staff Sergeant Scotty Bright, 36. Specialist Brian Vaughn, 23. Lance Corporal Jonathan Smith, 22. Specialist Stephen Ray Givens, 26. Jalal Al-Youssef, age 17. Ibrahim Al-Youssef, age 12. 29 family members of Metak Ali. Ahmed Al-Rahal.
My name's Elaine Brower, and I'm a member of Military Families Speak Out, as well as World Can't Wait, Drive Out the Bush Regime. This is my son, James. He's deployed from Picatinny Arsenal, along with Anna's son, and they're currently stationed in Fallujah. Specialist Andrew F. Chris, age 25. Specialist Cedric Lamont Lennon, 32. Chief Warrant Officer Robert William Chanel, Jr., age 36. Private First Class John Eli Brown, age 21. Private Kelly Stephen Pruitt, age 24. Private First Class Howard Johnson II, age 21. Specialist Shane W. Woods, age 23. Private First Class Joseph I. Love Fowler, age 22. Specialist Jacob E. Melson, age 22. Specialist Michael I. Edwards, age 26. W04 Chester W. Troxell, age 45. Sergeant Curtis Dean K. Arcala, age 22. Sergeant Matthew Charles Bowling, age 22. Lance Corporal Grant B. Frazier, age 22. Lance Corporal Jeremiah C. Kinchin, age 22. Sergeant Mason Douglas Whetstone, age 30. Staff Sergeant Frank F. Ty, age 45. Staff Sergeant Loasa F. Tave, Jr., age 29. Staff Sergeant Salamo J. Tulalula, age 23. Private Jonathan I. Falanico, age 20. Saeed Mohammed Saeed. Mohammed Abdullake Abdullah. Abdullakir Usaman. Salima Hashem. And Bashar Hashem. No ages given.
I'm Lorraine Sharkey. I'm a friend of Military Families Speak Out. Lieutenant Commander Keith Edward Taylor, 47. Private First Class Stephen A. Castellano, 21. Private First Class Kevin M. Luna, 26. Lance Corporal Joseph B. Spence, 24. First Lieutenant Dustin M. Shumney, 30. Lance Corporal Murad Ragamoff, 20. Corporal Stephen P. Johnson, 24. Petty Officer, 3rd Class, John Daniel House, 28. Staff Sergeant Joseph W. Stevens, 26. Staff Sergeant Jose Rangel, 43. Captain Joe Fenton Lusk, 25. Private First Class Oscar Sanchez, 19. Seaman Pablito Pina Briones, Jr., 22. Staff Sergeant Robert S. Johnson, 23. Specialist Jonathan Castro, 21. Corporal Michael D. Anderson, 21. Corporal Ian W. Stewart, 21. Specialist Edward William Roothouse, 36. Sergeant Trinidad R. Martinzelus, 22. Corporal Kirk J. Bosselman, 21. 12 members of the Bakat Hassan's family. 15 members of the family of Razek al-Muhammad Hussein. Muhammad Hussein, age 18. Ahmed Abdul Hussein, age 7.
My name is Tom Ergo. I was in Vietnam in 1969, and in 1971 I remember being on the mall in Washington, D.C. doing this very same thing. Staff Sergeant Russell Verdugo, Sergeant Kenneth Shaw, Lance Corporal Marty Mortensen, Private First Class Sam Huff, Specialist Nicholas Wilson, Sergeant Frank Hernandez, Sergeant First Class Brian Mack, Lance Corporal Jason Smith, Sergeant Tina Time, Lance Corporal Michael Downey, Corporal Christopher J. Lapka, Specialist Andrew Ehrlich, Sergeant Michael G. Owen, Private Carson J. Ramsey, Sergeant Tyler D. Pruitt, Specialist Robert Oliver Unruh, Sergeant Carl Thomas, Lance Corporal Michael Halal, and Iraqi citizens Nada Abdallah, Noala Abdel Fattah, Shara Khalil, Abukar Anwar, and Tariq Ibrahim.
My name is Richard Friedman. I was with the 78th Division from 1963 until 1969. I also was at several events such as this, unfortunately, during the Vietnam era. Specialist Armando Hernandez, 22. Private First Class Jesse J. Martinez, 20. Specialist William River Emmanuel, the 4th, 19. Lance Corporal Justin T. Hunt, 22. Lance Corporal Manuel A. Siniceros, 23. Sergeant Patrick R. McCaffrey Sr., 34. First Lieutenant Andre D. Tyson, 33. Private First Class Sean Horn, 19. Specialist Ty View, 22. Corporal Bamrock Lee, 21. First Lieutenant Kenneth Michael Ballard, 26. Lance Corporal Rafael Reno Suarez, 28. Lance Corporal Benjamin R. Gonzalez, 23. Private First Class Daniel Paul Unger, 19. Staff Sergeant Jorge A. Molina Bautista, 37. Corporal Rudy Salas, 20. Specialist Marcus O. Nalasco, 34. Private First Class Manuel Michael A. Mora, 19. Sergeant Brett J. Cronkite, 22. Private First Class Brian K. Cutter, 19. There have been no names, no ages for the following Iraqis: Musila Abdullah Ahmed, Adnan Mohammed Aziz, Hasi Lokman Umar, Marusa Jargis, and Valentina Bashar Faraj.
Hello, my name is Mark Skierman. I'm a retired Army colonel. I'm not from New Jersey. I'm from Louisville, Kentucky. 4 days ago, I traveled here for the purpose of attending my 40th reunion at West Point. For the last 2 days, I've been with my classmates. Today, as we speak, my classmates are gathered at the cemetery at West Point, honoring our fallen classmates who died in an unnecessary war. I'm very sad that I'm not with them today. My sister asked that I do this. I chose to do this with the idea that perhaps in some small way I can prevent the death of another wonderful soldier. Sergeant Jason L. Merrill, age 22. Hospitalman Chadwick T. Canyon, age 20. Sergeant Mark Richard Vessione, age 25. Special Damian Montoya, age 21. Private First Class Christopher M. Eckert, age 19. Private First Class Patrick A. Tinnell, age 25. Private First Class Joseph J. Dunas, age 23. Lance Corporal John Joshua Thornton, age 22. Corporal Brandon S. Shuck, age 21. Lance Corporal John M. Holmason, age 20. Sergeant James Witkowski, age 32. Lance Corporal Christopher M. Poston, age 20. Specialist Thomas H. Bird, age 21. Master Sergeant Kenneth E. Hunt, age 40. Specialist Jeremiah Robinson, age 20. Sergeant Howard P. Allen, age 31. Private First Class Sir Fernando Renya, age 20. Captain Jeremy Franquez, age 26. Ali Kadam Hassam, no age given. Reni Hassim, no age given. Hamadi Hassam and 7 other family members. Aya Jassim Ibrahim, age 26. Fatah Ghazi, age 8.
My name is Scott Howell. I'm the pastor at First Congregational Church, United Church of Christ, Montclair, New Jersey. I had the honor of marrying Erica Sullivan and her husband, Lance Corporal Vincent Sullivan, and then the horror of doing his funeral 6 months later in July of 2004. Staff Sergeant Kenneth A. Jenkins, 25. Private First Class Derek J. Plowman, 20. Specialist Bobby R. West, 23. Staff Sergeant Kevin P. Jessen, 28. Specialist Dustin L. Kendall, 21. Specialist Rusty W. Bell, 21. Sergeant Arthur R. McGill, 25. Specialist Philip N. Sales, 26. Specialist Dustin C. Fisher, 22. Specialist Tyler L. Creeman, 21. Staff Sergeant William T. Robbins, 31. Specialist Lyle W. Reimer II, 24. Lance Corporal Brian C. Hopper, 21. Specialist Jimmy D. Bowie, 44. Specialist Joshua S. Markham, 33. Specialist Jeremy W. McAlfee, 28. Corporal Jason S. Clairday, 21. Sergeant Michael A. Smith, 24. And the citizens of Iraq, Sinib Qasim, age 5. Abu Iyad Zatun Zakai, 40. Samad Rabai, no age. Ferris L. Bauer, no age provided. Saif L. Bauer, age 11.
I'm Dan Bottorff, Associate Minister of the United Methodist Church in Westfield. Specialist Ronald W. Baker, 34. Sergeant Russell L. Collier, 48. Sergeant Thomas Chad Rosenbaum, 25. Corporal Tommy L. Parker, Jr., 21. Sergeant First Class Troy Leon Miranda, 44. Staff Sergeant Hesley Box, Jr., 24. Staff Sergeant Stacy C. Brandon, 35. Staff Sergeant Billy J. Orton, 41. Captain Arthur L. Bo Felder, 36. Chief Warrant Officer Patrick W. Cordmeyer, 49. Sergeant First Class William W. Ladadby, Jr., 45. Specialist Ahmad Akil Mel Kason, 24. Private First Class Brandon C. Smith, 20. Master Sergeant Kevin N. Moorhead, 33. Private First Class Jonathan M. Cheatham, 19. Sergeant Louis A. Montez, 22. Sergeant David J. Almazan, 27. Private First Class Hannah L. Gunterman, 20. Sergeant Jeffrey S. Brown, 25. Specialist Joseph A. Graves, 21. And Iraqi Tajir, a young man. Sons of Said Shelish, Sharif Taha, Mohammed Aziz, Kader Karashu.
Lance Corporal Richard Patrick Slocum, age 19. Private David L. Waters, age 19. Lance Corporal Victor A. Gonzalez, 19. Major Charles R. Soltes, Jr., 36. Specialist, name removed, request of family, age 20. Private First Class Kenneth L. Sickles, age 20. Sergeant First Class Joselito A. Villanueva, age 36. Lance Corporal Aaron Boyles, age 24. Staff Sergeant Guy Stanley Hagi, Jr., age 31. Specialist Edgar P. Dacklin, Jr., age 24. Corporal Mick R. Nygaard-Bukowski, 21. Lance Corporal Joseph C. McCarthy, 21. Lance Corporal Derek L. Gardner, 20. Sergeant Edgar E. Lopez, 27. Specialist Omid H. Razani, 19. Corporal Nicanor Alvarez, 22. Sergeant, name removed, request to family, age 27. Private First Class Jeffrey Perez, 24. Private First Class Fernando B. Hannon, age 19. Corporal Roberto Abad, age 22. Iraqi citizens, no names given. 6 children and the husband of Aliyah Mukhtaf, Hilal Faraj Silo, Manal Saad Allah Mati, Birwa Khalil Hidayat, Idris Mohammed Assad.
I'm Dr. Bill Westland. In the 1950s, I served in the Navy Medical Corps, attached most of the time to the 1st Amtrak Battalion of the 3rd Marine Division, serving in Japan and Okinawa. Gunnery Sergeant Joseph Manusa, age 33. Private First Class Francisco Abraham Martinez Flores, age 21. Lance Corporal Patrick Terrence O'Day, age 20. Corporal Randall Kent Rosacker, age 21. Corporal Jorge Alonso Gonzalez, age 20. Corporal Jose Angel Garabay, age 21. Sergeant Michael Edward Bitts, age 31. Lieutenant Thomas Mullen Adams, age 27. Second Lieutenant John Shaw Vaughan, age 23. Staff Sergeant Gavin B. Reinke, age 32. Captain Ian P. Weikel, age 31. Sergeant Dimitri Muscat, age 21. Sergeant Louis R. Reyes, age 26. Staff Sergeant Michael C. Parrott, age 49. Lance Corporal Jeremy P. Tamburello, age 19. Private First Class Tyler R. McKenzie, age 20. Corporal Benjamin D. Hefner, age 21. Sergeant Larry W. Pankey, Jr., age 34. Lance Corporal Evanor C. Herrera, age 22. And Lance Corporal Chad B. Maynard, age 19. And those poor Iraqis. Wissam Abed, age 38. Dr. Ahib Abid Hassan Hamoudi, age 34. And the following, whose ages are not specified: Hadi Sabar Maruf, Hassan Pari, and Abdullah Suleiman Kader.
I'm Trish Comstock from the Bloomfield Peace Action Committee. Specialist Michael G. Mihalakis, 18. Staff Sergeant Richard A. Burdick, 24. Staff Sergeant, his name was removed. Specialist Aaron Clark, 20.
I'm Arthur Hausker, Navy vet of World War II. Staff Sergeant Justin L. Vasquez, age 26. Private First Class Travis W. Anderson, age 28. Specialist Derek Joseph Luthers, age 24. Private First Class George R. Gear, age 27.
Sergeant Ryan C. Young, 21.
Staff Sergeant Michael B. Shackelford, age 25.
Staff Sergeant Stephen A. Bertolino, 40.
Staff Sergeant Theodore S. Sam Holder II, age 27.
Chief Warrant Officer Christopher G. Nason, 39.
Sergeant Douglas E. Bascom, age 25.
Staff Sergeant Eddie E. Manyweather, 35.
Private First Class Henry C. Resner, age 26.
Specialist Rel A. Ravago IV, 21.
Lance Corporal Mark E. Engel, age 21.
Sergeant First Class Kelly Bolar, 37.
Specialist Dana N. Wilson, age 26.
Specialist Gennaro Acosta, 26.
Private First Class Sean M. Atkins, age 20.
Private First Class Karina S. Lau, 20.
Private First Class Ryan E. Reed, age 20.
Staff Sergeant Paul A. Velasquez, 29.
Private First Class Chance R. Phelps, age 19.
Second Lieutenant Todd J. Bryant, 23.
Sergeant Michael E. Yashinsky, age 24.
Private First Class Stephen Acosta, 19.
Staff Sergeant Daniel A. Bader, age 28.
Sergeant Michael S. Hancock, 29.
Staff Sergeant Mark A. Lawton, age 41.
Specialist Jose L. Mora, 26.
Staff Sergeant Barry Sanford, Sr., age 46.
Corporal Sean R. Grilly, 24.
Sergeant Thomas F. Broomhead, age 34.
Private First Class Jose Casanova, 23. Private Sean A. Silva, 23.
From Iraq, Jutiar Abdullah Suleiman, age unknown. Kanebi Usman Rasul, age 29. Kaira Mahmoud, age 68. Assad Abdul Hussein Al Tayyar, age 30. And here's what hurts. Qasar Assad Al Tayyar, age 12. I might add that a significant number of the troops involved in Iraq are men who enlisted in order to get citizenship.
Iraqis, Reza Hamiman Reza, no age given. Wife and 3 children of Mahmoud Ali Hamadi, no age. Nadia Khalaf, 33. Zaina Akram Hamoudi, 12. Mustafa Akram Hamoudi, 14.
Corporal Joseph A. Blanco, 25.
Lance Corporal Anthony E. Butterfield, 19.
Lance Corporal Juana Navarro Areño, 24.
Staff Sergeant Jason M. Evi, 29.
Specialist Ty J. Johnson, 28.
Sergeant Andre J. Contreras, 23.
Lance Corporal Felipe D. Sandoval Flores, 20.
Specialist Manuel J. Holguin, 21.
Hospitalman Giovanni Padilla Aleman, 20.
Sergeant Thomas B. Turner, Jr., 31.
Staff Sergeant Ricardo Barraza, 24.
Corporal Ryan J. Clark, 19.
Sergeant Dale G. Brame, 23.
Specialist Christopher D. Rose, 21.
Private First Class Angelo A. Zaweda, 19.
Corporal Jason W. Morrow, 27.
Lance Corporal Bunny Long, 22.
Sergeant Jason J. Buzzard, 31.
Corporal Adam O. Zanuto, 26.
Corporal Christopher D. Leon, 20.
Specialist Clay Farr, 21.
Corporal Michael A. Estrella, 20.
Lance Corporal Michael S. Probst, 26.
Specialist Luis D. Santos, 20.
Private First Class Javier Chavez Jr., 19.
Lance Corporal Salvador Guerrero, 21.
Private First Class Cesar S. Viglianzone, 21.
Specialist Isaac S. Lawson, 35.
Sergeant David L. Herrera, 26.
Private Benjamin T. Zieski, 20.
Lance Corporal Hugo R. Lopez, 20.
Private First Class Raymond L. Henry, 21.
Corporal Carlos Arellano, 22.
Lance Corporal Aaron William Simons, 20.
Lance Corporal Brandon C. Dewey, 20.
Sergeant Kyle A. Colnott, 23.
Chief Warrant Officer Rex C. Kenyon, 34.
Lance Corporal Marcus S. Glimps, 22.
Major Douglas A. LeBoff, 36.
Corporal Salem Bakar, 20.
And Iraqis Mohammed Hamza, 2.
Youssef Mustafa, no age.
The father, 2 uncles, and cousin of Haider, no age.
Marwa Abbas, 11.
Thamer Abdel Wahid, 27.
Tabarak Abbas, 8.
Nija Abdel Rida, 27.
Sophia Abbas, 5. And finally, Qassam Musa, who is 42 and like myself, a teacher.
Lance Corporal Raul Mercado, 21.
Specialist Joshua J. Kynek, 23.
Private Robbie M. Mariano, 21.
Private Elijah M. Ortega, 19.
Specialist Marcelino R. Corniel, 23.
Sergeant Brian E. Dunlap, 34.
Specialist Sergio Gordino, 22.
Staff Sergeant Daniel R. Shell, 37.
Specialist Cheyenne C. Willie, 36.
Sergeant Paul C. Neubauer, 40.
Sergeant Regina C. Rial, 25.
Specialist Mike T. Sonata, Jr., 34.
Sergeant Adrian N. Orozco, 26.
Sergeant Alfredo B. Silva, 35.
Specialist Michael J. Adenan, 21.
Corporal Timothy M. Shea, 22.
Specialist Vernon R. Widner, 34.
Private First Class Romero Ramon, 19.
Lance Corporal John A. J.T. Lucente, 19.
Specialist Noor Joseph, must be Joseph C. Noor, 22.
Specialist Matthew J. Holy, 21.
Specialist Ray M. Furman, 28.
Sergeant First Class James F. Hayes, 48.
Sergeant Nathan K. Bouchard, 24.
Petty Officer Second Class Alan M. Espiritu, 28.
Lance Corporal Adam J. Strain, 20.
Sergeant First Class Jonathan Tessar, 36.
Private Ernesto R. Guerrera, 20.
Sergeant Shaker T. Guy, 23.
Sergeant Milton M. Monzon, Jr., 21.
Captain Raymond D. Hill II, 39.
Private First Class Ramon A. Villatora, Jr., 19.
Sergeant Arthur A. Mora, Jr., 23.
Staff Sergeant Jorge Luis Pena Romero, 29.
Specialist Timothy D. Watkins, 24.
Corporal Carlos Pineda, 23.
Staff Sergeant Jerry L. Bonifacio, Jr., 28.
Lance Corporal Vieshna Mui, 20.
Lance Corporal Sergio H. Escobar, 18.
Sergeant Arnold Duplantier II, 26.
Iraqis, brother and sister of Sajid Mohammed, ages 2 and 3.
Hiwa Tariq Abraham, no age.
Najia Hussein, no age.
Valentina Yonan, 2.
Hassan Hussein,
Haitham Rafi, no age.
Hawa Rahman,
Rahad Septi, 9.
Hogir Farouk.
Arij Haki, 11.
Private First Class Lyndon A. Marcus Jr., 21.
Petty Officer Second Class Cesar O. Baez.
Sergeant Marvin R. Sprayberry III, 24.
Lance Corporal Dion M. Whitley, 21.
Specialist Ramon C. Ojeda, 22.
Corporal Antonio Mendoza, 21.
Specialist Trevor A. Wine, 22.
Captain Derek Argel, 28.
Specialist James A. Beckstrand, 27.
First Sergeant Michael S. Barnhill, 39.
Sergeant Adam W. Estep, 23.
Major Ricardo A. Crocker, 39.
Staff Sergeant Abraham D. Pena Medina, 32.
Sergeant First Class Randy D. Collins.
Private First Class Leroy Harris Kelly, 20.
Sergeant Stephen P. Saxton, 24.
Captain Richard J. Gannon II, 31.
Staff Sergeant Juan de Dios Garcia Arana, 27.
Sergeant Brian M. Wood, 21.
Sergeant Timothy Craig Kaiser, 37.
Staff Sergeant Victor A. Rosales Lomeli, 29.
Sergeant Anthony J. Davis, Jr., 22.
Lance Corporal Brad S. Shutter, 21.
Private First Class Casey M. Laware, 19.
Private First Class George D. Torres, 23.
Lance Corporal Juan C. Venegas, 21.
First Lieutenant Oscar Jimenez, 34.
Specialist Glenn J. Watkins, 42.
Private First Class Eric A. Ayon, 26.
Corporal William D. Richardson, 23.
First Lieutenant Joshua M. Palmer, 25.
Corporal Gary Wesley Tan Rhymes, 30.
Staff Sergeant William M. Harrell, 30.
Private First Class Samuel S. Lee, 19.
Lance Corporal Marcus M. Cherry, 18.
Specialist Wade Michael Twyman, 27.
Iraqis, father and two uncles of Zahra Hashem.
Staff Sergeant Jason R. Hendricks, 28.
Nasi Salem Bilbas.
Captain Sean Lee Brock, 29.
Hashim Aziz Rashid.
Iraqi Mayad Jamal Abbas, age 11.
Mohammed Ahmed, 4.
Hussein Ibrahim, no age given.
Wife of Caliph Abdel, 60.
Saad Shaban, age 40.
Lance Corporal Kyle D. Crowley.
Private First Class Pablo Manzano, 19.
Staff Sergeant Alan K. Walker, 28.
Lieutenant Kylan A. Jones Huffman, 31.
Lance Corporal Travis J. Layfield, 19.
Private First Class Daniel R. Parker, 18.
Sergeant Michael W. Mitchell, 25.
Staff Sergeant David S. Perry, 36.
Specialist Casey Sheehan, 24.
Corporal Evan Asa Ashcroft, 24.
Lance Corporal William J. Wiskowici, 20.
Lance Corporal Corey Ryan Guerin, 18.
Lance Corporal Andrew S. Dang, 20.
Lance Corporal Jason Tetraut, 20.
First Lieutenant Michael W. Vega, 41.
Specialist Paul T. Nakamura, 21.
Major Mark D. Taylor, 41.
Sergeant Atanasio Haro Marin, Jr., 27.
Private First Class Joel K. Brattain, 21.
Lance Corporal Jason William Moore, 21.
Specialist Christopher K. Hill, 26.
Captain Andrew David Lamont, 31.
Specialist Eric U. Ramirez, 31.
Corporal Douglas Jose Maran Correas, 28.
Sergeant Patrick S. Tainch, 33.
Private First Class Jose F. Gonzalez Rodriguez, 19.
Master Sergeant Jude C. Mariano, 39.
First Lieutenant Osvaldo Orozco, 26.
Sergeant Elu A. Mirsandoval, 27.
Sergeant Troy David Jenkins, 25.
Specialist Jason K. Chappelle, 22.
Corporal Jesus Angel Gonzalez, 22.
Sergeant Keisha M. Hines, 27.
Sergeant First Class John Winston Marshall, 50.
Specialist Michael A. Diramondo, 22.
Private Devon DeMillo Jones, 19.
Private First Class Jesse D. Miziner, 24.
Corporal Eric Hernandez Silva, 22.
Specialist Justin W. Pollard, 21.
And Lance Corporal Jesus Alberto Suarez del Solar, 20.
Names of Iraqis who died: Samar Hussein, 13.
I have 3 Hamoudis, Zain Al-Abedin Akram Hamoudi, Zanab Hakram Hamoudi, and Hassan Laad Hamoudi.
Hussein Abbas, 30.
And these people I just read were 16, 19, and 11. And I have 2, Amar Al-Hahoud Saad and Noor Saad, ages 19 and 6.
17 members of the family of Aboud Sarhan. Simshid Khurshid Rashid and Ali Muhammad Bira.
My name is Madeline Hoffman, Director of New Jersey Peace Action. First name on my list, Lance Corporal Quinn A. Keith, 21.
Corporal name removed, 20.
Gunnery Sergeant Edward T. Reeder, 32.
First Lieutenant Christopher J. Kenny, 32.
Private First Class Harry N. Shandy, Jr.
Captain John E. Tipton, 32.
Specialist Justin B. Unwardy, 28.
Petty Officer 3rd Class Ronald A. Ginther, 37.
Corporal Jeffrey D. Lawrence, 22.
Petty Officer 2nd Class Robert B. Jenkins, 35.
Corporal Dominique J. Nicholas, 25.
Petty Officer 2nd Class Scott R. McHugh, 33.
Lance Corporal, name removed, request of family, 20.
Petty Officer 2nd Class Tracy W. Dossett, 37.
Chief Warrant Officer Matthew C. Laskowski, 32.
Petty Officer 2nd Class Michael C. Anderson, 36.
Specialist Michael M. Marilla, 23.
Petty Officer 2nd Class Jason B. Dwelly, 31.
Sergeant Elijah Tai Wah Wong, 42.
Private First Class Jeremy Ricardo Ewing, 22.
Command Sergeant Eric F. Cook, 43.
Specialist Justin B. Schmidt, 23.
Specialist Isaac Campoy, 21.
Sergeant Jonathan N. Hartman, 27.
Specialist Spencer Timothy Carroll, 20.
Staff Sergeant Raymond Edison Jones, Jr., 31.
Specialist Alyssa R. Peterson, 27.
Private First Class Christopher R. Cobb, 19.
Sergeant Sean K. Cottadella, 28.
Staff Sergeant Wentz Jerome Henry Shannonberger III, 33.
Hospitalman Joshua McIntosh, 22.
Specialist Tracy L. Larimore, 30.
Staff Sergeant William T. Latham, 29.
Specialist Michael R. Woodliff, 22.
Petty Officer 3rd Class David Sissung, 21.
Private First Class Cody J. Orr, 21.
Lieutenant Nathan Dennis White, 30.
Sergeant Edmund Lee Randall Jr., 26.
Sergeant Fernando Padilla Ramirez, 26.
Chief Warrant Officer Ian D. Manuel, 23.
Lance Corporal Michael Jason Williams, 31.
Iraqis Qasim Ali, no age.
Private First Class Lori Ann Pesteva, 23.
Sina Hassad, 36.
Sabah Haidar Ali, Iraqi civilian, no age given.
Rana Hassad, 10.
Aziz Abdullah Aziz, no age given.
Maria Hassad, 7.
Marwa Qasim, age 9.
Sama Sami, 30.
Gufran Qasim, no age given. Mohammed Qasim, age 6.
First Lieutenant Adam G. Mooney, 28.
Specialist Sergio R. Diaz Varela, age 21.
Sergeant Jeffrey C. Walker, 33.
Corporal Joseph J. Hereda, age 22.
Command Sergeant Cornell W. Gilmore I, 45.
Lance Corporal Louis A. Figueroa, age 21.
Seaman Jackia Cherie Cannon, 20.
Private First Class Jose Ricardo Flores Mejia, 21.
Corporal Jason David Maleo, 20.
Sergeant Rafael Peralta, age 25.
Specialist George Arthur Mitchell, Jr., 35.
Lance Corporal George J. Payton, age 20.
Staff Sergeant Kendall Damon Waters Bay, 29.
Corporal